Hey guys, welcome to episode 48 of Knits and Stuff. Today is Tuesday, March 28th, and my name is Alicia. Today I'll be talking about works in progress, pretty things, local delights, and wibbly wobbly timey-wimey. But first, welcome to those of you that are new, and for those of you that are returning, thanks for coming back. If you haven't already, there's a group on Ravelry that you can join. It's called Knits and Stuff Podcast, and there'll be a link in the show notes, which are at knitsandstuff.wordpress.com. So without any further ado, now that it's like a month later, let's get started. So I have some works in progress. Last time I showed off the campsite cardie that I was working on. So I made a couple of rows of progress on this, but not too much, I think. And hopefully I wasn't here last time, but this marker is where I was last time, and I just knit like 4 so rows. But this is the campsite cardie by Alicia Plummer. It's upside down right now. I'm knitting this on US 8s for 5.0 millimeters. They're on my Addie Natura's Clicks, the interchangeable bamboo needles, and it's out of Miss Babs Yowza What a Skein in the colorway Sycamore. And so this is what it looks like right side up. It's cardigan, so it's knit back and forth, and most of the detail is in the back right now, but this is the front with the 2 sides, and yeah, it's coming along. I haven't really been knitting on this too much, especially now that it's warming up. I've been less inclined to knit on a larger sweater, but hopefully I'll make some more progress on it. But this is housed in my Needle Runs Through It project bag, large box bag. And yeah, that's really all the progress I made on my cardigan. Not too much going on there, but I did start a new knitting project, which I probably didn't need to because I have other socks on the needles already. But I just really wanted to knit with this Koigu yarn that I got. So I started a pair of monkey socks, and this is the monkey sock pattern by Cookie A. Let's see if I can make it a little more apparent. So this is by Cookie A, her monkey socks. It's a free pattern on Knitty. It's also in her Knit Sock Love book, and I am knitting it out of Koigu KPPM in the colorway 704P, which looks like this, and on knitting on US 1s 2.25 millimeters, which are on my signature double points. So it's coming along. I've done 3 repeats of the lace pattern. I should hold it a little closer so you can actually see it. It'll look a little bit better when it's blocked. Right now it looks kind of cabley almost. But you'll be able to see the lace pattern a little bit better as soon as it's blocked. And yeah, I really liked, so I was knitting some wrist warmers in this monkey pattern out of Koigu also. And I only had 1 skein of the Koigu, so so I went with the wrist warmers, but I think they're actually too small for my wrists, so I might have to frog them anyway. But I really liked the way the Koigu knitted up in the lace pattern, so I knew that I had to make socks out of the Koigu as well. So there we go. That's a good shot of what it looks like. So yeah, these are just the first pair, but coming along. I also really like the ribbing that the pattern calls for, is a twisted rib, where you knit through the back loop of the knit stitches, and it looks pretty nice. And I did instead of a long tail cast on, I think I did a tubular cast on. Pretty sure that's what it's called, maybe. It's the one where it's kind of like a knitted cast on, except you knit in between the stitches rather than through a stitch. I'll try and see if I can find what I did and put a link to it in the show notes. But yeah, those are the socks. So that's all the knitting I have, and I have some spinning, which I showed last time. And I'm actually going to move the camera so I don't have to lift up the wheel. So if you get motion sick, try just a fair warning that I'm going to be moving the camera. So there is the spinning. This is so easy with my camera. So this is what I'm working on. It's the was it the Green Mountain Farms, I think? Falkland roving in the colorway Cupcake. I've made quite a bit of progress. In the, I have like maybe about an ounce left. I think it's Green Mountain Fiberworks. Oh, I have the tag right over there. I'll go get it in a second. But yeah, so this is how far I've gone. I like the color progression. It looks really pretty. I'm still debating on whether or not I'm going to ply it back on itself or do Navajo ply. I think I'm still leaning towards Navajo ply right now, so I can keep the color progression on it. But let me grab the tag. Oh, I was so close. Not Green Mountain. It was Greenwood Fiberworks. So I'm going to finish that up and then hopefully start plying it sometime soon. But yeah, that's all my works in progress. I kind of zoomed through that. But oh, and the wheel that I'm using is my Ladybug, which is my only spinning wheel. But maybe one day I'll have more spinning wheels. I can do more spinning at once. But I do have some drop spindles, but I haven't been drop spindling recently. So, but I have some projects I'm still working on, so I'll have to pick those up again. But yeah, that is all my works in progress. So that would bring us to pretty things, and this week's pretty things are not fiber related. And neither is the rest of this podcast. So if you have no interest in either Firefly, the TV series, or Silicon Valley Comic Con, or Doctor Who, you can sign up now. But that's what I'm going to be talking about for the rest of the podcast. So yeah, so Pretty Things is a more like toy stash enhancement rather than a fiber stash. So I signed up for the Firefly cargo crate, which is a subscription box done by Loot Crate, and I showed the pin that I got, I think. Did I show the pin? Maybe I didn't show the pin. Well, I got a pin last time, in case I didn't show it. I think I still have it right here. This is the pin that I got for being a first subscriber to the Loot Crate box, and it's if you're not familiar with Firefly, it's a TV series that was canceled back quite a few years ago now, and it was on Fox. It's a sci-fi kind of like a space cowboy adventure show. It was really good. It had Nathan Fillion in it, who I will mention later, and many other good actors. And it was only around for one season and a movie, and but it was very popular after it got canceled. So it's really good. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. Even if you're not into sci-fi, it's not. Well, it's I would say it's not too heavy on the sci-fi, but it does have some sci-fi elements to it. I think the plot isn't as sci-fi heavy. I feel like it's a good like entry sci-fi show, maybe. So check it out if it sounds interesting. But yeah, so I subscribe to the Loot Crate box, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep my subscription because it is, I think, once every 2 months, and I probably don't need that much Firefly stuff. But I did get the first box the other day, so I'm going to show what I got. And I'm just trying to see what to show first. So this is the box that it came in. It probably doesn't help that I'm showing it to you upside down. So it's a Firefly cargo crate, and it has a little sticker on the side that says exported from Persephone. So I'll just show some of the goodies that they sent in it. So this is a little teddy bear. I thought it was adorable. It's Kaylee, who is the mechanic in the show, and yeah, she's dressed in her little mechanic outfit with a flower shirt. So this was a pretty Kaylee themed box, so a lot of the stuff is going to be Kaylee related. So I also got a figure that came in this box, and I already took it out and put it together, and it's sitting over here. So this is the little Kaylee figurine that came with the crate, and she's got her umbrella, which is also a popular thing in the show. Yes, if you guys have seen Firefly, then I'm sure you'll recognize a lot of this stuff. Another figure that I got was a random one by Qbits, and you could have gotten, I think, any number of these. I don't know if they had only certain characters in the boxes, but these were the options that they have. And I got Jane, who is pretty adorable in this tiny figure. And I was saying to my friend about this figure, I feel like if you have seen the show, you'll know that Jane is he's like the muscle of the group, and he always has guns, so I feel like he needs more guns in this, because I don't think he even has any in his holster, but he's still adorable. So that's the figure that came in that box. And then the rest of the stuff in here is not as exciting, but it's still fun. I don't know why I just put him back in the box. They also gave some umbrellas that look like Kaylee's parasol. So those are little drink umbrellas, and pin, and I think every loot crate comes with a metal pin. So this one is the one that came this month that says "Everything's shiny, Captain," so which is something that Kaylee says. And there's also some other stuff in here, like some playing cards, which I'm not sure where they're from. I still have to look into that to see, but there's cards, and then they have a little pamphlet about the loot box and an interview with the actress that plays Kaylee, and some other information about it. So, but that's yeah, that was the loot crate that I got. So if you guys are interested in checking it out, I'll put a link in the show notes to the Firefly one. I think I've talked about the general loot crate before. But they're pretty fun. It's a nice little gift for you or someone else to have a surprise box of goodies that of stuff that you're interested in. So yeah, that is Pretty Things. And that would lead us to Local Delights, which is going to be about Silicon Valley Comic-Con, which was last weekend. Well, no, Tuesday. It wasn't this past weekend, but it was the week before. And it was the first annual Silicon Valley Comic-Con. They held it in San Jose at the convention center downtown, I guess. And it was put together by Steve Wozniak and Stan Lee. And I think I have the pamphlet. Sorry for the reach. So this was the program that they handed out with Wozniak's face on it. And so we went for Saturday, and we had planned to go to the Loot Crate panel in the morning, but did not wake up early enough to get down to San Jose in time for it, so we skipped that. And then we planned to go to Nathan Fillion's panel, which was at 1:30 that day, and then we also planned to just walk the floor. So they have it's similar to San Diego Comic-Con, which I've talked about before, I think probably last year after I went. But they basically have a bunch of panels that they have in the convention rooms, and then they have an expo floor or an exhibition hall where they have different booths set up for local comic book vendors or larger companies like Marvel. I don't think Marvel was actually there. Um, but they just basically have vendor booths, and they also integrated, which was might have been different. I guess I never noticed it at the other conventions, but they integrated their sponsors into the exhibition floor, or the expo hall booths. So they had their own booths there, which was something different, I guess. But they were giving away some free goodies, so that's always fun. And yeah, so some of the pros, I guess, of the convention. I think overall it was fun. It was nice to have something in the Bay Area, because we haven't really had too many larger conventions here. Like WonderCon used to be here in San Francisco, but they moved down to LA and have yet to come back. So yeah, maybe one day, but it sounds like they're going to be in LA for a while. But yeah, so it was nice to have something close by. Parking was difficult, but normally I haven't had to deal with parking for like San Diego Comic-Con, so it's probably easier to use public transport down there. We didn't use public transport for San Jose, but it probably could have worked out if we took Caltrain from a station somewhere closer. But we don't really live in an area where we could take Caltrain easily, so parking was difficult, but we were able to find something that was walking distance from the convention center without having to pay for one of their lots, and which were all full. So that was that. But the actual convention was good. It was interesting because I think the other conventions are starting to adopt this as well, but they had wristbands that have RFID chips in them, so you just scan your wristband to get in, and I think it was both a good and bad thing. It's good in that you don't have people giving their badges to other people. You don't have people trying to sneak in, because like sneak in without a badge, because it's so crowded, although you could probably still try and get by. Well, maybe not. But they have the little booth set up, and people by the booths telling you whether it's okay to go in, which can take kind of a long time if you're waiting to scan your wristband. So there were long lines to get into the actual convention center. The nice part was that the lines to enter were actually inside. And the entrances where the scanners were inside. So you weren't like waiting at the door to get into the convention center. And so I guess there was more room to kind of spread out to get in. So that was, I mean, it was okay. And then the floor was fine. It was pretty normal. We walked around a little bit, but we didn't really buy anything. And then we went to the panel for Nathan Fillion. We actually caught the tail end of the Jeremy Renner panel, which was fun to watch. And Jeremy Renner is the actor that plays Hawkeye in Avengers. And yeah, so we caught the tail end of that, and then the strange thing that they do, which I think other conventions might have done before, but like San Diego doesn't do it currently, but they asked to clear out the room before the next panel, so they have a half hour in between each panels, and then they clear out the room after one's done, and then they let people in for the next panel once the room's cleared out, and those people that they're letting in are waiting in line. So the weird thing was that you can actually pay more for VIP tickets, and when you get those VIP tickets, you don't have to leave the panel room, or you get like a special wristband, and then you don't have to leave the room when they clear out. So normally I'm used to like sitting in the room for a panel, and then when the next panel comes on, people leave, and then you can like go up closer or find a better seat or something. So yeah, they didn't do that here, which was good in that you weren't able to like wait through a panel to that you weren't really interested in, so other people could actually like get in to see the panel that they wanted to see. But it was kind of weird that you could pay more to just sit there, to not have to leave the room. I thought that was kind of strange. So that was kind of a con of the like if I was doing pro and cons, not a con as a convention, of the process, but overall it was fun. I don't know that I would actually go back next year though, because I think San Diego Comic-Con is probably more worth it for what we're interested in, I think. Although, another pro for the convention was they had a gaming center, and it was small, but they had a lot of old games, like vintage, you could call them, games. So they had a bunch of old arcade games, like Street Fighter 2 and Miss Pac-Man and Asteroids, I think they had also, like Atari. They had those games. And then they had some old consoles like Sega Genesis and stuff that I didn't even recognize. So that was kind of fun to see the older consoles. And they had some newer ones too, so like I think people were playing Super Smash Brothers on the Wii and stuff like that. So it was, that part I thought was cute, although they didn't have too many stations set up, so you didn't there weren't, like when we went in, there weren't any consoles open, but there weren't really that long of lines of people waiting either, so I guess it wasn't as popular as the rest of the convention, but or people just didn't know where it was because it was kind of separate from everything else. But anyway, so that was Silicon Valley Comic-Con, and like I said, I'm not sure if I'm gonna go back next year, but if people don't make the trip out or can't make the trip out to San Diego Comic-Con, then I think the Silicon Valley one is a perfectly good one to go to, since it's local, or it's closer if you're in the Bay Area. Yeah, but I would also definitely recommend San Diego if you can even get tickets to that, because it's so hard to get tickets now. We barely got tickets for this year, so but I'm sure I will talk about that more after we go. So that's probably enough about Comic-Con now. So last thing I have is Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey, and just some brief news that I heard that I thought I would share with everyone, in case you haven't heard about it. I think they announced this like almost a month ago now, but Big Finish, the audio production studio, is producing a 3-part series of the 10th Doctor and Donna, of their storylines from them. So Big Finish produces basically like radio shows that are additional stories to the TV series of Doctor Who. So they are making 3 new episodes with David Tennant and Catherine Tate, which is really exciting because this is the first. Did they do any with? I don't know that they did any with any of the other new Who, all of the new seasons, Doctors since 2005. So, but it's really exciting because David Tennant is my favorite Doctor. So it'll be fun to hear those, and I think they come out in May, so I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for those and listening to them. Although I think you do have to pay for them, and I think if you pre-order digital ones, it's $25 for 3 episodes, and then you can also get the CD, which is more. So yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out for that, and maybe I will have those to talk about during our Doctor Who hiatus. I'm not sure when the next season is coming back, now that I think about it. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, I think that's all I have for today. This was hardly any knitting, I feel like, mostly other stuff. So yeah, social media stuff, I'm Eliana Knits on Ravelry, Unperfect529 on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. I haven't really been very active on any of those, especially Instagram. I feel like I need to post more pictures. And I hear Instagram is changing, or changed like some of their stuff where you don't get notifications anymore for people or something, or like the order of your feed is different now. I don't know, but I should really I really need to post more pictures, and I need to take more pictures of things. But Anyway, that's all I have for today. Sorry it was late. I was gonna record this weekend and then I didn't have time, and then I wasn't feeling well yesterday, but I was like, okay, I can do it today. I have time. And now that the sun is setting, and it's probably really weird lighting in here now. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys. Thanks for watching. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks, or slightly less than 2 weeks. Bye.